If you do not find a way to evict the loser psychology from your brain as a young man, then your life is likely going to be fucking shit. Because, let's face it, 90% of guys in the modern day and age have no ambition. They're absolutely cucked. No goals. They have this weird, self-destructive, self-demoralizing mindset where they think that they can't achieve things and they realistically don't even want to achieve things. So, to get ahead of 90% of guys, you simply just have to start with the idea of wanting to be a winner and caring about being a winner. Because most guys, they don't even give a fuck if they win or lose. So if you can just evict the loser psychology from your brain and implant a new winner's psychology and positive belief system inside of you, then you're going to be better than most guys. You don't even have to fucking have any significant wins right now. You don't have to be this entrepreneur, this multi-million dollar successful person who does all the good habits or is jacked. You just have to simply want to win. And see, once I adopted the winner's psychology and kicked the fucking loser psychology out of my head, then everything in life spiraled in a positive direction. And I want to teach you how you can evict the loser psychology from your brain, because it's not supposed to be there. And I made the mistake too long of just accepting it and thinking it was normal and letting life take me, letting, like a leaf in the wind, I just used to let it blow me to wherever and hope that I'd land somewhere good. Well, the brutal reality is, if you let this happen to you, then your life, you will not land in somewhere good. It will be fucking shit for you. So we have to understand how to evict the loser psychology from our brain. And the first step to doing this is to understanding that it is okay to win, and the loser psychology is not meant to be here in the first place. So there's a reason why I use the word evict, because you think about it. When we're talking about an eviction, it usually means about someone or something moving into a place, right? If you get evicted out of your fucking house, then you have to get out, you get kicked out, right? But you moved in the first place. So you have to think about this loser psychology as something that has moved in, something that has infiltrated our brain. We first didn't have this. Our grandparents, parents, all this shit, they had positive belief systems in their brain. But it's the modern generation, the modern system that we are put through, you and I, it creates this loser psychology. So we need to kick it. We need to fucking boot it out of our fucking house, out of our mind, so that we can actually obtain the biologically known winner psychology. Because as young men, we're wired to win. As young men, we always want to win, and you know, you've wanted to win in things like video games. When you played video games, you wouldn't just want to fucking play to lose. You always wanted to win. But how come in the real world, when we go to school, when we go to work, when we go to all these different places, we are told not to have a desire to win, not to want to be the best, not to want to beat other men and show dominance? We're told this bullshit that it's toxic, But, bro, realistically, it's fucking biology. It's masculine. It's this unnatural parasite that's been implanted into the heads of you and myself, of every young guy you look at down the street around you. And we have to get rid of it. And step one is to stop being modest and stop being so fucking humble. See, I used to go through life being like, these things aren't meant to be. There's a reason why I'm losing, all this. No, you have to start having confidence and have to start wanting to win, okay? Because it's not toxic. Just stop being a bitch and actually want to achieve stuff in life. Because that is ground one to improving yourself. You have to want to improve, you have to want to win, or else you're never going to have that drive. You can do all these things, but if you don't have that initial drive, you will not go anywhere. It's like trying to fucking accelerate with no fuel in your car. And to help drill this into your head, you have to realize that nobody really cares about the loser. We're told that we just follow this standard life path, do this standard thing, and like I said, hope that we get blown into the right direction and we land in a positive place and everything is happily ever after. Well, maybe in our parents' day that was possible. Maybe in our grandparents' day that was possible, where everything was fucking rosy and daisies everywhere and everything was fine. But now, with the age of the internet, with the age of all this new competition, you cannot afford to fucking lose. You cannot afford to not want to be a winner, because nobody cares about the loser. If I asked you right now, who is the fastest man on the planet? Who's the fastest runner? What's his name? 99% of the people watching this, you will be able to say it's Usain Bolt instantly. Now, what happens if I asked you who the second fastest runner in the world is? I don't even fucking know. So, if it comes down to something so fundamental, so well known as something athletic, or, you know, the running race, the Olympics, and you don't even know the second person, and it's already at such a high level, then how the fuck do you expect to be known or appreciated or accepted in real life in a way like lower scale, like your general town? Well, simply, you can't expect this, right? Because let's face it, there's hypergamy, which means that women always go for the best option. They don't want second place. Nobody wants this loser. You can't just, you know, be the nice guy, be the loser and get success. No, the winner takes all. The winner takes majority, right? Then you look at friendships. Nobody's going to want to be friends with a loser. If you're a loser, you're going to attract losers. And just in general, the filter of young men, the great filter, we have to be winners. And so you have to realize that all these things in school, in work, like the participation trophies and the awards and the recognition for not even winning, but for losing and for being shit, is just going to make you weak, and is the reason why we have this loser psychology in the first place. Because we think that being average and being just okay, just passing, is to be rewarded. You and I have higher standards than this. You and I have higher standards than this. Don't lie to yourself, because you have a voice in your head. Amongst this loser psychology, this parasite in your brain, you have this voice in your head that wants to be more, and you know you have untapped potential. So you just have to listen to it. And the first step is to acknowledging your primal masculine essence, understanding that it's in your fucking blood, in your biology. Your fucking grandfather, your great-grandfather, they wanted to win. So don't let that stop now just because some fucking fat blue-haired teacher at school told you to be quiet and told you you don't have to have desire to win and be the best. Once you can appreciate this, just like I do, there's going to be some inevitable limiting beliefs, and there are two particular ones that I want to specifically cover. And the first one was the fact that you will develop this us versus them mentality, and it's probably already in your life. The truth of it is brutal, but whenever I hang around my family, my dad in particular, watching the news, watching stuff, talking about successful people, there's always this mindset of, oh, they're lucky. Oh, they did this. Geez, it's good for them. You know, we can't do this. We can't be like them. It's good for them. There's this us versus them mentality that your parents and even you yourself have probably adopted in your head. And it's where you see these successful people or people doing better than you as so far away. You see them as this distant, different species of human. Like, you are just meant to be average. You're just meant to be normal. But they have this gift that you don't. The way to overcome this is to literally, unfortunately, you have to ignore what your parents say. Unfortunately, you have to ignore what your own brain believes, and you simply just have to think. The action step is to think, why not me? Is there somebody who started in a shit position, right? Is there somebody who is short? Is there somebody who has shit genetics? Is there somebody who has fucking a illness, a problem? Is there somebody who had these issues, these problems, worse circumstances than you, who achieved something great? The answer is always yes, spoiler alert, right? Because I used to think when I first started the gym that I had shit genetics and that I couldn't do it, I couldn't build a good physique. But once I started, then I realized, hold on, I'm actually more like those motherfuckers over there who I used to think were so far this different species apart that had this gift. Well, I actually look pretty good too. Like, fucking hell, maybe I have good genetics, right? And once you learn to bridge the gap and to not see yourself as this distant species from the successful people that you want to be like, the winners, then that's how you can overcome this loser mentality. Now you're going to be thinking, well, Jay, I don't have any wins. I'm currently a loser. And to that, I would say, good. You have to start somewhere. You have to start at the beginning point, right? You can't expect to be the best straight away. You have to have this desire, which we're now implementing into our head, to want to win, to want to be the best and not be one of these fucking stupid pussies who just thinks that, if they weren't born into greatness, then they weren't meant to be great. No, the people that are at the end of the race, the fastest people in the world, they weren't born the fastest people in the world. They had to train, they had to get moving. So that's exactly what you have to do. You have to just start at the starting point of the race of life as a young man, and just do shit, get achievements, level up. You're a noob right now. It's like playing video games. You remember, you're a noob, you're level 1. You have to start with the small tasks, killing the small animals, and hunting cutting down the fucking tree. You're not at that advanced stage yet where you can have mass production and be super efficient and super effective, right? So you need to build up from ground level, get that XP. But how can we actually level up this skill and start leveling up and move towards that winner category? Well, simple. The easiest way is through fitness as young guys. And that's why I created something for you. It's the first link in the description. It's how I changed my life forever. It's not just about fitness. It's becoming the ultimate undeniable man. Becoming a young guy who is actually confident, who is actually a winner. Now, fantastic. We know all this. We know how to actually evict the loser psychology from our brain. It's the first understand that we have to want to win, and it's okay to be masculine and not be a pussy and want to win. We have to understand that we can't listen to our family. We can't have this identity crisis where we think we're so far away from those successful people. We have to bridge that gap. And then we also have to understand that we're not expected to have wins right now. We just have to have the desire to win and not lose, and start doing the actions, just like in a video game, leveling up from level 1 to level 100 and beyond. This understanding is all very well and good, but there's a specific way that we can skyrocket and we can lock in this winner psychology and fully kick out this loser psychology and prevent us from being a loser and being complacent and okay with being a bitch. And it's to create what's called an anti-vision. One of the biggest motivators for me that I've noticed in my life has been pain, but also shame. It's all the times where I looked at myself and I didn't want to be embarrassed, or I didn't want to fucking fall short, which is when I made the most progress, when I had to live up to a standard, right? And I remember a specific time that this applied to me. It was back in high school. I was known as the naughty kid. I used to talk in class and get in trouble. And in my senior years of high school, I created this anti-vision, this vision of what I did not want to be, of what I did not want to occur. Not what I wanted to occur, what I did not want to occur. So I did not want the teachers to be proven right about the fact that I was just a naughty kid who had untapped potential, who didn't do well in school, didn't do as well as he could. So my anti-vision was exactly that. My anti-vision was that I didn't want to be embarrassed. I didn't want to be perceived as this low status, failed kid who was just this, naughty kid in school, and he had so much potential and he didn't succeed. So that was my anti-vision, and you need to create yours. And the beautiful thing about this is, with this anti-vision, with this pain and shame as the main motivator, I was able to do exactly that. I lived up to the anti-vision. I got the highest marks in the year at school, and I proved everybody wrong, and I prevented myself from being embarrassed. So you need to ask yourself, just take some time, maybe even write it down. What don't you want to happen? And the beautiful thing is, if you achieve that, then the opposite of that, which is your vision, your base vision, which stems from ambition and desire, well, it's going to be positive also. But if you need that extra motivator, that extra fire up your ass, then think about what you don't want to happen. Now, if you're stuck on where to start and you don't know how to create this anti-vision, and you don't know the life path that you should be trying to avoid and the life path that you should be trying to aim for, then again, check the link in the description, because it will change your life forever. Not fucking AI, I will personally walk you through the stages, the blueprint, the method to change your life forever, so you can achieve greatness and be on a positive self-improvement journey, just like I am. But with that being said, remember that progress is purpose.